Hello, my name is Joshua Gilliland. I am the Western Region Sea Scout Commodore, and today we have some best practices on how to recruit Sea Scouts. Our objective today is to learn tactics to compile a list of prospective members, develop strategies for mailing and contacting prospective Sea Scouts, plan welcome aboard day and follow up for prospective Sea Scouts, and develop ideas for recruiting adult volunteers. The first important message of recruiting is you have to have a healthy Sea Scout program. You have to have fun. You have to have a good balance between planned activities, work on the boat, and everyone enjoying what they do. That means we have adventure, exciting activities that youth will enjoy doing and that adults will enjoy planning. We want community service because we are members of the community in which we operate, and you want them to know that we are part of the community, that we help with waterfront cleanups, that we help with yacht club events. There are things that help us be visible, which has a long-term impact on recruiting. We also want to highlight the vocational opportunities youth can have by becoming a Sea Scout, and there are many, from not just military service, but professional mariners to America's Cup racing. There are many activities that Sea Scouts do that can lead to employment later in life. And of course, nautical training opportunities, being able to go out with groups that work on the water, whether they are divers or the Coast Guard or the Navy. There are many, many organizations that can provide great training opportunities for Sea Scouts. And being able to showcase that these are all of our partners in providing adventure to youth is an absolutely fantastic way to showcase the program to others. While all of that is fine and dandy, the main issue we have is getting the message to our prospective client base, kids. In the Western United States, there are 3 million youth who are eligible to be Sea Scouts because of age. Of those 3 million, 2 million have no extracurricular activities that they engage in. We currently have less than 1,500 Sea Scouts in the Western United States. And keeping in mind that we have 2 million prospective Sea Scout members to go out and recruit, there is a huge recruiting base for us to work with. So we must remember that recruiting season is year-round. It's not just the end of the school year, even though that is a critical time to get the message out there. And the beginning of the school year is also pivotal. But you have to think about recruiting all year long and providing opportunities to youth. The most successful method for recruiting Sea Scouts is peer-to-peer. One Sea Scout tells a friend about how much fun they have in Sea Scouting, and they bring their friend down, and that friend becomes a Sea Scout. This has worked for 101 years. It is the most successful method, but it's not the only method that we can have in getting our message to our prospective customers. Ship newsletters are very powerful in the community. Being able to highlight what you're up to, being able to communicate that to alumni, parents of existing Sea Scouts. Some high schools will disseminate that information depending on your location. It's just a very important way to get the message out and also to keep your chartered partner up to date on what's taking place. Coupled with that are press releases. Now, we'll have a special presentation on how to do a press release, but putting out press releases on upcoming events, open houses, welcome aboard days to the local papers can be very successful in getting new members to join your ship. So there are many examples from people in the Pacific Northwest who have done this, people in Hawaii who have done this, people in Martinez, the immediate past national flagship, The Albatross has been very successful with press releases, and it's just one of those things you need to add to your program in having someone put together a press release about a cruise, a training activity, an open house, to get it out to all the free local papers and online publications that can support you. So what goes into recruiting material? Fun. You have to show smiling, happy faces having a great time. You need to show activities. You need to show smiling pictures of Sea Scouts having a rip-roaring good time, because without fun and activity and adventure, you're not going to sell the program. If the message is we stand at attention in dress uniform and work on the boat, that isn't attractive to a large portion of the population. That's something people will do after they join when they see the benefits of it, but it's not the opening marketing pitch. Just look, smiling, happy, diving, and that's in Florida off the Florida Sea Base. So, I've mentioned this before, but you don't want recruiting material that just has youth standing at attention. It's not the most effective way to get young people to say that program's for me. Showing them having fun is something that youth will respond to. They will also respond to uniforms positively if they are depicted in a positive light. Now, I do recommend any recruiting material should have kids in matching t-shirts. Everyone should be in the same ship t-shirt, because that's a message that goes well with the public, and it creates esprit de corps, and youth do want to be part of a team. That's something that they accept. But when you look at standing at attention in dress uniform, probably not the most effective way to get people to join. But smiling, happy teenagers always works. Always go with the smiling, happy youth. So what do we do? Well, let's talk about some best practices that are available to us. Younger Scouts. We were started as the original older youth program. So going to a Boy Scout troop meeting and doing an introduction to Sea Scouts, this is what we do, this is who we are, these are the activities that we have, and having the youth share sea stories is always well received by Boy Scouts, but you got to make sure that the youth doing the presentation have time to practice and have a good presentation that they can use. Because as you can see by the expressions on these Boy Scouts, they were captivated by the Sea Scouts doing a presentation. Council drop lists. As Boy Scouts hit high school or turn 14, they start to emancipate themselves from troops. Not always, but there's a large number. So getting that drop list from a district executive can be very helpful in talking to people who have a past scouting experience and saying, here's a program for older youth. It's co-ed. We have all kinds of fun on boats, traveling, cruising, sailing, adventure. It helps retain youth in scouting. And that's a message that district executives and council presidents respond very well to, because it helps us retain our numbers, because scouting as a whole in the past couple years has been losing members annually. Many high schools at the beginning of the year have a high school club day as a way to recruit new members. Setting up a booth at one of these activities with some flyers and a poster has worked well at many schools. This does generally require talking to guidance counselors, befriending teachers who are willing to support the event, but it can be very effective in helping get the message out to brand new freshmen who are looking for activities to be involved in. Many high schools have morning video announcements, and they may be open to doing a video pitch for your Sea Scout ship. So having a tight 30-second video, 60 seconds might be too long, but some might even go up to 90. But you want a quick video that's very punchy, very effective in showing fun, smiling, water, sailboats, kayaks, paddleboards, whatever you can in that short amount of time to show adventure and fun can work wonders at a school with 2,000 students. If you think about high schools having anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 students, depending on their location, you would expect you could get more than one of those students out of 2,000 to be a Sea Scout. And that's where getting into a morning announcement could be very helpful. 8th graders. Now, we can recruit Sea Scouts who are 14 or 13 and a graduate of the 8th grade. What many ships do is in May, they go to the 8th grades and they do a pitch for the soon-to-be graduated 8th graders to come down and check out the Sea Scout ship. That way, once they graduate the 8th grade, they can immediately become Sea Scouts and participate in all the fun summer activities. So it's very important, and this does require coordination, to work with an 8th grade teacher or a guidance counselor or a principal or a school district to highlight the benefits of Sea Scouts to those soon-to-be graduated 8th graders. Freshman orientation is also a wonderful time to get new members by being able to highlight, this is who we are, this is what we do, join us. Because a lot of freshmen are looking for something to belong to, looking for a way to fit in, and Sea Scouts could be a wonderful place for them to have fun and make new friends. Religious groups also can be a good place to do a promotional presentation to, whether it is a video or some Sea Scouts coming in to talk about recent adventures, generally go over very well and something that ships should look at. Teen centers, youth centers, there are many cities that have these, and most of them, not all, but most of them have community bulletin boards where you could put up information. While that is passive marketing, and passive marketing doesn't always work, it's better than no marketing. So it does help to at least put something up in a youth center or a YMCA or something like that. If you want to take it to a next level, is host an event at the youth center, such as maybe offering pizza and teaching everyone how to make a monkey's fist keychain. It could be an activity to get people to check out Sea Scouts for the first time, get a pizza or cookies or whatever it is. Food always sells well. And have some activity for them to do. Not just learning knots, but making something or learning how to navigate. Things like that generally can get people's attention, and it could be a lot of fun. Welcome aboard days. Instead of calling an open house a recruiting day, you could just call it a welcome aboard day. It's a little less, sounds a little less of a commitment to prospective members. But it's really good to host multiple ones over the course of the year. End of the school year is a good time to host one, so you could target the soon-to-be graduating 8th graders. Or at the beginning of the school year when you can get brand new freshmen who are looking for something fun. This needs to have an activity, food, and be fun. It could be a short cruise, it could be a short sail, it could be learning bosun's chair. There are all kinds of things that you could do, or how to throw a heaving line, or making baskets with a heaving line and a target at 40 feet. There is no limit to the imagination on what you can do with one of these, but the important thing is to do something. So action items. You need to network with organizations to build trust for presentations, ad in local papers, and council support. That means going to other meetings. That means being active in the community. That means serving on your council marketing committee, so that way they always include Sea Scout material and activities in the weekly e-newsletter. The local newspapers always are looking for stories, and these are the free ones that generally are you can just pick up. And many ships have been very successful with those. You want to have the yacht clubs, the power squadrons, the Rotary clubs, city councils. You want to have those folks on your side. And to endear the trust of members of your community, that means you need to be going out there. So you need the adults to be going out there too to do the pitch on the value of Sea Scouts to different groups in the community to show this is who we are and how we can help. So other things to remember with action items for youth. So you do an event and you're able to get names and phone numbers, but you want to not just say, here's a flyer, call us, because now you're putting the burden on that prospective Sea Scout to do all the work. Ask for the phone number or email address, ideally both, so you have a couple ways to reach them. And be sure the printing is legible so you can actually call the correct number and send the right email address. It is a good idea to call before a regular weekly meeting and offer to say, hey, do you want to come down to the boat this Saturday? We're taking a short cruise and we'll have lunch on board. Want to come? I can pick you up. Extend the invitation and offer the ride. You can tell the parents, and this is always a good thing, that they are welcome at any time to come and check out the program. It's a great idea to have a parent talk to one of the other parents, or perhaps a skipper or the mate talk to the other parents, so the parents can understand what you do as a Sea Scout. And that just highlights many parents like to talk with other parents or adult volunteers, so just feel free to give out that contact information of a business card with, please come down and check us out, ask me any questions, because you want the parents to be involved, because these parents can later make up a ship committee, they can be drivers, they might even want to register as a mate at some point. Leverage social media. 98% of young people in the United States are online. Let's repeat that number. 98% of young people in the United States are online. So that means you have to leverage online marketing, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr. You have to look at the different ways you can get your message out. That includes maintaining your ship website that's linked to a ship Facebook fan page, because you want that public communication out there so the public can see what you're doing. And you can make social media messages and status updates to say, we are doing X. Now, it's very, very important to follow all youth protection guidelines with this. So you can say, we did this event and had a lot of fun, or here we are doing this event. You want to be sure that you are following all online youth protection requirements. Many ships, in addition to the public fan page on Facebook, have a private Facebook group for parents and crew. And there they communicate, we're meeting this Saturday at 9 o'clock and we're going to go take the whale boat out for practice, or we're going to go sailing, or we're going to go install the new cruise quarters to get ready to cruise to safety at sea. Whatever the case is, it's one of those means to communicate. Now, you probably should also follow up with an email, because a lot of parents and others still respond better to email than they do social media. So we're at this stage where you probably need to use both. But social media generally works well for the youth, and email works well for the adults in communicating information. So with the volunteers, we don't just recruit youth, we need to recruit volunteers. A healthy Sea Scout ship needs about 5 volunteers for it to be healthy. So you have the skipper, you have 4 mates, and you distribute the workload evenly across everyone, so that way it's not too burdensome. But everyone needs to have responsibilities, they need to feel valued, and thank you is a very powerful phrase with adults, because they're giving up their time when they could be doing something else. They could be cleaning out the garage. They could be doing some other hobby that they have. They could be spending time with their own families. So they need to feel valued, and they need to be thanked for taking the time to help out. Because without volunteers, it's very, very difficult to have a successful Sea Scoutship. So with that, I thank you for watching this training video on best practices for recruiting, and look forward to your continued service in Sea Scouts. Thank you very much.